2 months ago, I started investing $50 a week into both NVIDIA and AMD stock. And the results so far, well, one stock is holding strong. The other looks like it's falling off a cliff. But here's a twist. What's happening behind the scenes may actually change completely in the next couple months ahead. You ready to see how the portfolio is looking? I started this in the beginning of August. So August 1st, in fact, was a Friday, 2025. I started this weekly challenge, and the idea was, okay, every week, $50, and that is every Friday. So I don't care like if the stocks are up or down. It's just whatever time that I decide to go in on Friday and invest the $50, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be Friday. Even if Monday, like there's a buying opportunity, no, every Friday. That's just the system that I'm going to follow for this particular investment challenge. So as of the close of the stock market on Friday, September 19th, as of the recording of this video, it's really interesting to see my portfolio, and it tells quite a story. Now, before we get to the portfolio, we need to talk about how to actually invest. And I've been using Moomoo. It's an investing app that's really been kind of catching on with me because they offer a few extra things. Now, here's my portfolio. Currently have $305, but I plan on scaling that up significantly as I build my financial independence portfolio. No, not with penny stocks, but with ETFs, stocks, and sometimes maybe even crypto. But here's the thing. They offer zero commission trading. No longer do you have to pay somebody for commissions just to execute a trade on a stock or an ETF. Zero commissions, and they offer for free advanced charting and analysis. This is great for things like tracking ETFs, comparing performance, backtesting different strategies like we're about to. Well, you can not just do it on what I'm about to show you. You can actually do it on Moomoo now too. Check out Moomoo. Get yourself some free stocks. I mean, why not? By getting started and investing today. Check out the link in the description below, or you can scan the QR code on the screen as you see it right now. All right, so here we are in my portfolio. You're looking at my Moomoo portfolio. $986. Now, what that means is I have total cash of $201. What that means is I transfer money out of my checking account into this. It sits in cash, and look at that, earning, I think it's 3.85% annual percentage yield just to sit in there. But the reason I'm doing that is that's the money that I'll eventually put in to NVIDIA and AMD, that $50 into both each week. So it's just kind of like my cash holding account. But down below is, you take that 201, you add up the positions, the cost right now that I have in both of these. That's what gets us to $986.66. But look how terrible this is. So as of right now, you can see AMD, I have a total of 2.43 shares at a market value of $383.29. If you look at the price and the cost, the average price that I paid for AMD is currently sitting at $164. The closing price on Friday, September 19th, was $157, which means that's terrible, which you'll see in a minute. That means that my average price is higher than the current price. That's never a good thing. NVIDIA, on the other hand, I have $401, a little bit more because the market is changing, right? A little bit less shares. Now, why do I only have 2.27 shares? It's because AMD cost less and it's going down. So when I put in that $50, I'm getting more of AMD than I'm getting of NVIDIA. That's just how that works. So right now, the current price is $176. My average price on NVIDIA is $175. That's good. It's okay. I wish it was a lot more, but I'll take it for now. It's only been a month and a half, right? Practically 2 months. But if I scroll over here on my Webull app, you'll notice that I have an unrealized P&L. Unrealized means I haven't sold, and I don't plan on selling. Just like the $5 a day challenge. I'm going to keep this for a long time. Then when I have a lot of money, I may then sell, but that might be years down the road. AMD is down 4.16%. Absolutely terrible at $16.61 lost. NVIDIA is up a measly little 0.45% or $1.78. Oh my gosh, I am so rich. Can you believe this? But I want to back up a second because some of you might be laughing at my joke, or you might think I'm being a sarcastic you-know-what. But you got to remember that, just like the other challenge I do, which is that $5 a day investing challenge, I started that way back in January of 2022. And then I did my first video in January 2023. If you look at this video right here, you're going to notice that after 1 year of $5 a day, I'm actually negative. I lost money on that account. And so you would almost think, why are you doing these investment challenges? You're losing money. But just like the wise always say, time in the stock market is what is truly valuable. So now that $5 a day investment challenge that I reported on way back then is up over 30%. Have a look at that beautiful, beautiful income that I created as a result of staying consistent, now going on almost 4 years. It's about 3.5 years. In January of 2026, it'll be 4 years. So the idea with this is, could we see this also happen where it scales up? Now, it's a little bit more dicey because over there in the $5 a day land, I'm investing in the VOO S&P 500 index fund. It's all of the different stocks that make up the S&P 500. Here, I'm putting a lot of weight into a single stock. But what about an ETF? Got a great comment. And remember, a lot of my videos are powered by your comments. You leave a great comment down below, and I'm like, that looks pretty good. I may come back and do a video on it. And for this particular comment, they called out the fact that the roots of the channel focuses on ETFs and index funds. Why not SMH? I've talked about that ETF before. I'll link it in the description so you can check that video out. SMH is your AI semiconductor type of ETF. It looks at all the technology, right? It's kind of exciting. What if we would have invested in SMH instead of AMD or NVIDIA since August 1st, 2025? Well, I did some math to show you the results. Now, all of these are the Fridays, 8/1, 8/8, 8/15, blah, 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 in this beautiful Google sheet, right? We're going to look at the SMH price. This is automatically calculated at the close of the business day. So this will not match my Moomoo portfolio because remember, I go in every Friday at some random time that I remember to do this, and I buy. So the closing price may vary on that Friday compared to when I bought it, but this is very interesting. AMD, 171, NVIDIA, 173. So let's take a look first at August 1st. SMH, 283.95. I would have bought, even though I didn't, I would have bought 0.17 shares. That's the difference of the $50 going into that stock price. AMD was at 171, so that's purchasing 0.29. And then NVIDIA was at 173.72 at 0.28. Every Friday, all the way up to 9/19. That's the latest Friday as of the recording of this video. You can see the price, you can see the shares, you can see the price, you can see the shares, all the way through here. Now, what I'm going to do is every month I'll come back and give you guys an update on this, just like I do with the $5 a day challenge. But let's come over here and look at the bread and butter, the results of all of this, and see, would SMH been a better idea than NVIDIA or AMD? So here we are, the asset between all three. Here are the total shares bought. 1.35 of SMH, 2.43 of AMD, and 2.27 of NVIDIA. Numbers might be slightly off from the Moomoo portfolio I just showed you because of what I mentioned about the close of day price. But isn't it interesting that, of course, SMH, because it's more costly right now per share, is going to be the lowest amount of shares bought. But that's not really what we care about. We care about the total portfolio money. Which one is giving us a better return? Which one's giving us more money? That is what we're after. So the current price as of the close of stock market business on Friday the 19th, compared to all the shares we've been buying over the last couple of weeks, well, here it is, 316 for SMH, 157 for AMD, and 176 for NVIDIA. So now we look over and reveal the portfolio. I'm going to start with NVIDIA just to be a clown, okay? NVIDIA, right now the portfolio is sitting at $400.48. Pretty sweet. So that's $50 every week going into this, and now that looks like magic. And then we have AMD sitting at $384. That is sad and depressing. And then we have SMH. And this is where I'm going to kick myself for not doing this alongside of this. Granted, that's like $150 a week I got to invest. It's a lot of money. $428.30. So, as it stands today, it makes more sense to invest in the ETF than the individual stocks themselves. And remember that when you look at the holdings of SMH, NVIDIA and AMD are big players in this particular ETF fund. So it's not like you're not investing in these things anyway. You're getting these plus the other big dogs that make up the holdings of this particular fund. So I thank you for that comment, because what we're going to be able to do is not only show my portfolio, but also cry over potentially a failed mistake that I made. But this could be a great way to just play the game and see what works better for the portfolio. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. It's only been a month, right? Almost 2, but who cares? You remember my example earlier about the $5 a day challenge. I mean, that was after 2, 3, 4 years to actually see some great growth. We could actually see AMD and NVIDIA be so far like a catalyst of the SMH fund that the individual stock will actually be worth more than the ETF. See, this could go many different ways. And the fun thing is, we're going to be able to watch it over the next couple years here on the channel. So subscribe for more and make sure that you check out this video next, and we will see you on the next video.